There you
Oh,
are.
okay.
Right, so this is our recommendation on how to fly through an assessment. So this is me on the left. I'm Callum. I'm from Devon. I have 2 dogs. This is the street I used to live on when I lived in Cardiff. It's Cathays, and that's me in the bottom right-hand corner in one of our lectures.
I remember that session.
It was so much fun.
And this is me in the forest on one of our forest school sessions. I have 4 children. That's the first thing I don't recommend when writing an assignment. I have a dog who's crazy, and I run for sanity.
And you will need to get out and do something beside your lectures because you will go crazy. We're both Cardiff Met graduates. We both did primary education, and both I really enjoyed it. Did you?
I loved it. We were saying, weren't we, the other day, just wish we could go back and read those 3 years and really sort of try and take it in a bit more and enjoy it, because it just goes so fast.
It is the quickest 3 years. I know it's the most cliche thing to say, but it literally is the quickest 3 years you'll ever do.
It is. Really every minute.
Yeah. So this is tips on how to start an assignment. Nick has told us that this is the sort of thing he wanted, so we've gone for it. So we'll go start at the bottom left, shall we? Mm-hmm. So this is lectures. Make sure you look at your lecture slides. Just save them when you're going through, because you will look back at them, because they will help you. They want you to do things in lectures that will reflect on your assignment. So make sure you do that.
Point, aren't they?
Yeah. This then the criteria. So make sure you look at the criteria. You can use that as your structure. I did. I don't know about you. How did you structure yours?
Yeah, I mean, I printed off always my criteria and had it sort of there by my desk, right next to, always looking at it as you're working. Yeah. You just get into the habit of doing that then, that you're always working on that criteria.
I mean, that's where the marks are. So you need to make sure you're hitting those criteria areas, basically. It's really important. This is actually a picture of Nick Young. I tried to find a picture of your lecturer, Nick Young, but this basketballer came up, so I put him there instead. This is just basically go and ask your lecturers if you've got a problem, if you're struggling, go and ask them. They are so helpful at Cardiff Met, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, if you're making notes and you're sort of all over the place with your assignment, just drop them an email, have a call with them, whatever it is. And they really help to narrow your thoughts. And yeah, I had help on every single assignment. And if you use the help that they offer, you really can't go wrong. You'll kind of know how you're doing.
Definitely. And they want you to do well. So don't forget that they want you to succeed and they want you to do well. So engaging with them, I mean, that's what they're there for. So
yeah, definitely.
Do it. This is actually a picture of us. I don't know if you can see. So I'm in the front and Ria's in the back. This is a picture on one of our lectures, and this is like making your friends on the course is probably the best part about it, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, we did a lot of study sessions, didn't we, in the library, and just sort of even chatting to each other about ideas, because when you're doing an assignment, you diverge, don't you, and you all do different topics, different things, but just chatting to each other, and some people are better at referencing, some people are better at other things, and just share and help, and really friends are essential.
When we were doing our dissertations, chatting to each other was the best relieving part about it, wasn't it?
Definitely. I think you knew my dissertation inside out, and I enjoyed yours.
I mean, we've even read each other's, so it does help because you know what each other are looking for. So Met search as well.
Yes, definitely use Met search. Just get to grips with the logo. You'll know it like the back of your hand really quickly. Just log on and just start using it. Try out the advanced search buttons. Met search I used for everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much easier than using. I know some people used to use Google Scholar, didn't they? And Met search if you know how to use it properly, is so easy to use.
Yes, it is.
Really. And they put books and journals in there based on our degrees, don't they? So they are literally there for us.
Yeah.
So it sounds stupid, but they are, aren't they?
Yes, they are. yeah,
And
you
the
can get,
librarians are good as well, aren't they?
yeah, really good. So
Definitely will help you if you go and ask them where something is or where a topic is. They'll lead you to it.
mhm. I
Yeah.
mean, you could start with the recommended reading, and just look at that just as a starting base,
Yeah.
and then you'll start diverting, and MetSearch will really help.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, right. So finding sources. So bottom left again, we'll start, shall we? So first of all, using your lectures, look at the last slide of your lectures, because lecturers will reference key theorists, key books, and they'll give you a lot of the places to look for. So please use them. That is one of the best ways to find references.
Yeah, and just, you know, start using that until you get to grips with the topic, and then you'll probably go off and find your own stuff, and stuff that maybe is not even mentioned in a lecture, you know, and you can go off and do your own thing, but just use that as a...
Yeah, definitely. Then you can also look back at, so the picture up there is for looking back at your lectures, back at your own work. You will have probably, by the time you get to year 3, you will have done an assignment on something that you did 2 years ago, so make sure you keep it.
Yes. And they all kind of, I remember getting to sort of the end of year 1, year 2, and everything came together and they all linked, and they all, I remember thinking, oh wow, that assignment really will help this one. So
Yeah.
you start, don't you? They're totally separate modules and assignments, but they all benefit each other and they all do link up.
Yeah, definitely.
What we do around anything will just help every single module.
Yeah. And then you've got the recommended reading, the required reading. We were actually saying earlier, I mean, it's a really good starting point, but don't go through it and read the whole book, because it's not worth it. Skim through it, find the bits you need, and move on.
Yeah, and don't feel like it's so much pressure to look at that recommended reading. You've got to actually read all that. You know, just find what suits you, skim, scan, to get the information you want, and then start your own research.
Yeah.
I didn't read sort of a single book back to front. Pulling out chapters, you're pulling out journal articles, and just doing it that way.
Yeah, definitely. And then you've got journal articles that from the recommended reading, or things you found. Look at their reference list. They'll have loads of sources that are relevant. So make sure you look at their reference list as well, and who they're referencing quite a lot, because they're going to have to have referenced all right people. So have a look at the journals and see if they're any good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So referencing. Everyone loves a bit of referencing, don't they, Ria?
Oh yes. Did master by year 3.
It's not something you're going to learn to love. It's not fun by the end, is it?
No, it's not. But you get to grips with it quite quickly, and you know, and there's some really good resources out there, isn't there? So
yeah. So you've got the lectures again. Make sure you're looking through them, because lecturers know how to reference. So they will be doing it at the end of there. So just if you need to look at it for structure, do it. Have a look. Cite them right. Did you have a copy of Cite Them Right, Ria?
yes.
Yeah. So we both had a copy. It's probably one of the most life-saving books throughout uni, because you can use it for every single module.
Yes. Yeah, and I would still be using it now, you know, in my PGCE, just to double check all the time, and it's really good.
Yeah. This is actually a point you said, Ria, about making sure you look through your references.
Mm-hmm. Just always, you know, even if you think you've done it, just triple check, keep going over it, because, you know, like we were saying earlier, when we're simple marks, there's, you know, no need to drop any marks on referencing. It's there in front of you, you know, you've got all the help. So just spend that time at the end of an assignment and during an assignment to just really work on your referencing and get those marks.
I mean, if you've referenced them correctly, you've got a range of books, journals, articles, and you've got some current up-to-date research. I mean, you should be getting 10 out of 10
Absolutely.
for referencing. It is really easy to get good marks on referencing. You just got to spend a little bit of time on it.
Mm-hmm. definitely. And I don't know what your sort of system was, but mine at the end of an assignment was to highlight all of my references right throughout the essay, and then as I was writing them, once I'd checked it off that one reference was perfect, I then removed the highlight just to know that it was done.
Yeah.
And I'd just be really methodical and do it that way, so
Yeah.
that I knew every single one I'd done was correct.
Yeah, I used to print the last couple of pages of referencing off and literally go through reference by reference and tick it off to make sure it was right, because it, again, is easy mark. I mean, you can start with 10% before you've even written very much content. So yeah,
time for that. You know, don't be finishing your assignment the night before. Make sure you give yourself a couple of days.
Yeah. And this picture on the end is just using your bank of knowledge. You will learn how to reference, and you will learn some key theorists in your head. You will know some books in your head by the end of it. So make sure you go and have a look at them, because you can reuse your references.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You could probably remember some of the common books now, and I could. There's names that pop up into my head that we used probably right throughout.
Yeah, and I mean, I've moved to Exeter University for my PGCE, and Ria's at Cardiff Met for hers. I mean, even now they're bringing things up that I'm like, oh, I've read that book. Oh, I've had a section of that. I've done that, and you will remember them.
You will.
Yeah, it's sad, but you will.
Be sad.
Using the criteria. The criteria is the most important thing when you're doing an assessment, isn't it?
Definitely. Just keep looking at, if you are saying something that does not relate to that criteria, get rid of. Even if you the most amazing sentence, the amazing thing you said, just get rid of it. If it doesn't get you points, no point in saying it.
Yeah. I mean, we were saying, look, I mean, if you've got interest, great. Look into it, research it. That's really important to make sure you do follow your interest. And can I just say, make sure you write it down for your dissertation, because when we got to our dissertations, I don't know about you, but I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I knew I'd thought of things previous.
Yeah.
So
even, make notes. Yeah, all the time.
Make notes of modules and topics that you enjoy, because you might need them later on.
Definitely. And I know we touched on this when we were having a chat, but when I start an assignment, I don't know how you approached it, but I was saying I never paid any attention to word count when I first started. I just used to write, because sometimes worrying about the word count can hinder, you know, how you write in their assignment. And then, so I'd sort of write as much as I wanted, as little as you wanted. And then once I'd established a bit of a flow, then I'd start breaking it down into sections. I think you sectioned yours, didn't you?
I sectioned mine. So if there was 20 marks available for one area, I know I've got to write a little bit more than a 10-mark area. You need to break it down, because if you've got 20 marks, you need to reflect that within your word count as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go writing 3 sentences and expect to get 20 marks out of it, because it's just not going to happen.
No. So stick criteria into your essay on your blank page ready. And put some subheadings in and start writing.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Use my subheadings from the criteria, literally copy and paste the wording from it. So make sure you can stick to that criteria as much as possible.
Yeah. Just go for it.
Using feedback. So this is one of my feedback at the top. So avoiding blank statements. I used to get this a lot, especially in first and second year. Listen to it, because they're not giving you feedback for fun. It's not something they enjoy doing. They enjoy reading your work sometimes, but make sure you're actually using your feedback to develop, because throughout uni you will get better, but only if you look at your feedback. Because if you don't look at your feedback, you're never going to know what you need to improve on.
Yes, and you might end up with them commenting on the same sort of things where you're losing marks. And if you're unsure, again, ask your tutor. Just go and speak to them or email them, and they'll explain, in detail and how you improve on that.
Yeah, and look at your good and your bad feedback. Don't keep looking at your bad feedback, because you will have done something right, and no matter what you've done, you will have done something good in there. Don't be too negative. You need to repeat what you're doing well as well. So if you look at what you're doing that is good, you know that in a later module or a later assignment, you can just do that again.
Yes. And we were saying, weren't we, that, you know, the expectation at this level is very high, and we weren't quite prepared for that, were we? So you can be quite hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, take you a little while to get into what's needed and what the writing style is, and the expectation. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just use that back, and just keep working, and you'll see marks go up.
Just try your best. That's all you can do. If you try your best, that's as much as you can do. So keep going.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's about it. That's our sort of recommendations, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. And just really enjoy it. I know that's really hard to say. Would we have listened to that if someone came?
No, we probably wouldn't have, but it is really important.
It is, yeah. And you know, I think the biggest help that I had was when I would speak to lecture, I'd make notes, I'd make little mind maps to start and things like that, and then go and speak to your lecturers on their, you know, their thoughts, and, you know, are you on the right track, and then go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, they will help you as much as you can. But yeah, just enjoy it. Enjoy the social part of it as well.
Yeah.
It's about getting that degree at the end, but it's an experience as well, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, it is amazing. So just enjoy it. I'm very jealous that you're starting, because I want to be starting again.
So, and now we're on the PGCE. So
I know. That is something else. And this is our emails, all right? So give us an email if you're worried or just want some help. We will try. We have been where you are. We will try our best. I mean, we're quite busy at the moment, aren't we? PGCE, because it is a busy time. But yeah, if you just need to know something or some help with one of your assignments that you're a bit like, oh, I don't know what to do here.
Scare me, because, you know, don't be nervous about asking something.
Yeah.
You know, probably something we've all thought of or worried about.
Yeah, and you'll work that out, that the more you get into it, the more you get to know your peers on your course. Just ask, because someone else will be thinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have fun.
Yeah. Enjoy, have fun. Yeah. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.